Hey everyone, OrdinarySith here. Hope you're having a lovely day. Before I get this video started, I want to say that I am aware that I am on the more critical side of video games. That is because I grew up arguably in one of the best eras for gaming, the mid 2000s till about 2016. So I know how good video games can be and how they should be. However, somebody decided they wanted to go shoot an innocent gorilla and bring about the dark times. I feel like developers, publishers want to push out the prettiest game possible. Most of them want to use Unreal Engine 5, which has already been proven to be an unoptimized mess most of the time. Video games are about escapism. I want to forget about everything that I'm going through, and I'm sure you do too. Gameplay loop, in-game, if there is an in-game for games, Destiny, Diablo, etc., you know. That should be the core focus. And instead, a lot of people just want to make the game as pretty as possible. Back then, you got what you paid for. You got your RPG. You got your FPS. You got whatever was under the sun. What you paid for is what you got. I am tired of spending 60, 70, 80, $100+ on games just to beta test them for months or years while being left in the dark if the game is going to continue, are they going to drop it, or is it just gonna stay how it is? Just look at what happened to Mass Effect, Redfall, Anthem. Do I need to say more? I'm so tired of putting so much money into video games and expecting developers to finish them. I often say to my friends, this is the new norm. A lot of people like to talk about how amazing Cyberpunk is and how fantastic the DLC is. And while yes, I can agree with that, now, when Cyberpunk came out, you cannot sit there with a straight face and tell me how amazing it was. We beta tested it. You paid, again, 60, 70, however much it was when it came out, you paid that only to say, oh man, the game is so good. 4 years later, 4 years later, that is completely unacceptable. Often I feel a lot of people want to be vocal about this. And the split second you start talking about somebody's fandom, somebody's game that they love to play, and any form of criticism, you get ratioed to oblivion and back on Reddit, on Twitter, YouTube, whatever. It's constructive criticism. Because I don't care how much of a fanboy I am for a game, it is unacceptable to me to play a game that is unfinished, which is exactly what Stalker 2 is. I would like to make it perfectly clear that I do not hate Stalker 2. I do not think it is a terrible game. I don't think it's the worst game in the past 5, 10, whatever years. I am very frustrated that games coming out most of the time are unpolished, unfinished, and they rely on DLSS or frame generation to make their game run smoothly. Xbox and PlayStation doesn't even have that. I played Stalker 2 on my Xbox because I was not going to pay for it because I saw that it was coming out in Game Pass, and I kind of got the idea it was not going to be as good as people think it was going to be, and I'm very grateful that I did not pay for it. When I was playing on Xbox, I had frame drops. It looked completely terrible. I had pop-ins. It's clear to me that Stalker 2 needed maybe another year, maybe a little bit less time before it came out. Not only that, I feel like Stalker 2 does not know what it wants to be. Survival is one of the core elements to this game, and yet I had no issues with it. Med kits everywhere. Food everywhere. Often, you would find crates filled with medical supplies, food that would last you that whole day and some of the next. Even when you would go to settlements, there would be food on the table that was for everybody's taking. There was no penalty to take it. You weren't stealing it or anything else like that. You pretty much never had to worry about where's my next meal coming from, where am I going to get bandages from, how is this firefight going to go, am I going to bleed out, am I going to run out of health and die from these mutated monsters? I do not understand what they're trying to do here. I found myself at multiple points during my playthrough of just needing to sell as many med kits as possible. You find military grade med kits, the blue ones, and most of the time I hardly ever used those. I would sell those, I would sell most of my bandages, almost all of my med kits, because I know just simple exploring, not even going out of my way to explore, I would find everything I needed and more. At first I thought this was because the game was going to become difficult later on and I would be scrounging around for supplies, so the game wanted to help me early on. Wrong! This leads me to my next topic. What the hell are the difficulty modifiers for Stalker? Enemies are either bullet sponges, 360 no-scope you, or die with a few shots to the knee. I'm going to show you a few clips of enemies refusing to die. One of them literally had a grenade explode next to him.
Fight!
Why don't you just fucking die already?
Don't even get me started on the stealth mechanics. They're horrible. Often you will be seen through walls. You can kill somebody right next to a whole group of enemies, like this is Skyrim.
Is someone there?
NPC AI can just break at random points in the game. One of my funnest times in my playthrough was when I got jumped by a bunch of mutated rats and I just started dropping grenades all around me, watching their bodies explode. Enemy variety in the game is nice. I do like the different types of enemies shown. The mutations are nice, except for the people at the beginning of the game. Those invisible fuckers who rush you nonstop and knock you over. I cannot stand those dudes. The cats who make multiple copies of themselves, although I don't really know if they are cats, but they look like cats, so we're calling them cats. When they make multiple copies of themselves, it makes the game very, very annoying after a while, because it's not really possible to tell which one is the main body, and if there is, it's such a minute difference that you'll just sit there and mag dump everybody until they're dead. Unfortunately, there is no aim assist on Xbox, and if there is, it's extremely minimal. It makes sorting items, shooting people, everything a lot more difficult. Often I would get into fights and I would really be wishing that I was on my mouse and keyboard, because these people already would have been dead. And I don't know if I'm the only one who experienced this problem. My controller does not have stick drift on it, but when I was playing the game, often my controller would just shift to the left. Now, I think there is a bug in the game, at least for Xbox, when it comes to item sorting. In my stash box, I tried sorting guns, ammo, food, medicine, everything, but only guns would store in it. While I was in my stash, I could unload a weapon, but it would just stay in the stash. I could never put more ammo into the stash. On to the story, everyone, everything, forgettable. The only thing that I really remembered was a burned guy, and that's for obvious reasons.
Skiff.
What are you doing here?
Just living a little. I mean, take a look at the view. Stay away from the edge.
The game pushes you into moving forward with no real reason to come back. Once you've completed the area, I have heard that other creators say the story comes alive around 10 to 15 hours in, but that is way too long for any game. What I found most enjoyable, honestly, was being a dick to everyone who was killable. Most of the time, your character gets treated like that, betrayed, somebody's giving off evil guy vibes, or you're someone's errand boy.
Who the hell are you?
And what are you doing here?
I'm tired of running around.
Now what was that? Tim! You better keep down. If they see you, they'll shoot you on the spot.
Moving on to artifacts, I did find them enjoyable. Some of them were easy to find, others were next to impossible to find, and sometimes it can make the game quite frustrating. Here you see me finding it the first time, but then I die. The game does not tell you that artifacts can change locations if you die trying to get them. My scanner starts rapidly beeping, indicating it's right there, but the radius is too big in my opinion. I end up finding it on the other side of the stairs, but it would have been nicer if it was just staying in one spot. I guess that could be a nitpick. Currently, the developers are aware of the huge performance issues, bugs, and many other problems such as A-Life 2.0 simulation, which is their AI in the world to simulate events being completely broken because you and I beta tested it for them. This loops back to my previous argument. Hey everyone, so I decided that I wanted to get the PC version of the game, that way I can have an opinion on both. So during this video you have probably noticed that there is some PC game footage. That's because I spliced it all together. And boy, let me tell you, it was 1,000 times easier to get into firefights, sort my items, because you saw earlier I had a bug on Xbox where I could not sort anything. It is making life 1,000,000 times easier. Of course, I continue to be a dick, and I still had a lot of fun doing that, but there are, in my opinion, a lot more issues on PC than there are on Xbox. And honestly, this guy had it coming to him.
Give it to me.
This right here, I mean, I just wanted the loot. I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. He didn't deserve what he got, but I wanted the loot. I mean, nobody gonna miss him anyways.
Here's the icon.
And this right here, ladies and gentlemen, is the worst enemy in the game. These bloodsuckers are terrible. They are way too spongy. They do so much damage. If there's multiple of them, they will infinitely stun lock you until they kill you. I honestly believe that the majority of the mutants in here need to be nerfed, need some kind of damage reduction and health reduction, but the bloodsuckers are by far in a league of their own in form of terribleness. Right here, I am demonstrating how broken A-Life 2.0, the simulation in the game is. These NPCs pop in right here when they were supposed to already be there. And this leads me to my biggest complaint on PC. I turn off DLSS frame generation, and as you can see, my game is terrible. It looks like hot dog shit on a Sunday afternoon. You know what? Scratch that. White dog shit. The optimized tweaks mod is sitting at 430,000 downloads. You need a mod to fix your game. We should not need a mod to fix our game. This is reaching Bethesda levels of fuckery. With all that being said, I cannot recommend you play Stalker 2. The story takes too long to become good, many broken gameplay mechanics, and a gameplay loop that just does not feel rewarding. Most of the time you go to abandoned encampments, you clear it out, only to get medical supplies, food, ammo, etc. that you already have. With that rant being over, I want to thank you all for watching. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.